occupying till he comes at Southwest Prophecy Ministries.
Thank you, David, and welcome, friends, to Southwest Prophecy Ministries. I'm Jerry Geltner, your announcer. The purpose of Southwest Prophecy Ministries is to equip end-time saints by providing biblically accurate prophetic information, as well as timely and truthful patriotic information. This is a brand new ministry. The goal of today's broadcast is to introduce the staff at SWPM and tell about the unique purpose of the ministry. And now, here again is the president of Southwest Prophecy Ministries, Dr. David Snitker.
Thank you, Jerry. I would also like to welcome you to Southwest Prophecy Ministries. This is our first broadcast, and on our show today, I want to introduce each member of our team and share something about how the Lord led us to start this ministry. We will then be discussing the mission of our ministry that will be reflected on our broadcasts. We also want to talk about a brand new film that one of our team members has produced that you will want to have in your library. Let me begin by introducing myself. I graduated from Moody Bible Institute in 1975 with a degree in pastoral training, and when I returned to my hometown in Oklahoma City, I was encouraged by my pastor to apply for work at Southwest Radio Church. Well, I had never heard of this ministry before, but I took his advice and I met with Noah Hutchings, who helped lead the ministry of that time. He hired me to be in charge of the correspondence department, and shortly after I began work there, I was asked to write an article for a broadcast. Well, Noah must have liked my work because I continued to get writing assignments and broadcasting assignments. So I wrote several articles and books for Southwest Radio Church during the 1970s and 1980s. In 1984, I moved to the Washington, D.C. area to pursue seminary training and begin work as the pastor of local churches. Well, for the next 25 years, that's what I did. I earned a few additional degrees and then entered into pastoring local churches. But as I did so, I continued as opportunity allowed to do writing and broadcasting for Southwest Radio Church. In 2008, I experienced what I call a political awakening, as I became aware of advancing tyranny both in America and around the world, with the rapid advance of Satan's last day strategy to build his new world order. I had a new and renewed energy and urgency regarding the loss of freedom in America, and I wanted to do something about it. As I began to speak about these matters publicly in the church I was pastoring, it soon became obvious that the powers that be did not want me to discuss controversial political issues. Well, this led to the parting of the ways in 2012, and so I began what's called a Black Robe Regiment church in my home in Northern Virginia, and enjoyed that thoroughly. In 2013, I visited again my hometown in Oklahoma City, and while there, met with Noah Hutchings, and we did a broadcast together. He asked me to write an article, and then I received a surprise phone call from Noah Hutchings. He asked me to return to the ministry and to resume a ministry at Southwest Radio Church, doing writing and broadcasting and conference work and interviews. And so after much prayer, in May of 2013, I did return here to Oklahoma City and resumed ministry at Southwest Radio Church. And I absolutely loved the work and saw God's evident hand of blessings on that ministry. Well, we'll pick up with this story a bit later, but I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce the other members of our team here at Southwest Prophecy Ministries. We'll begin with Carol Rushton. Carol has been a friend of mine and a co-laborer in the work of the gospel for over 40 years. So Carol, tell our listeners about yourself and about what you will be doing at Southwest Prophecy Ministries.
Thank you, David. My name is Carol Rushton. I am the Vice President of Social Media for Southwest Prophecy Ministries. I am also the daughter of Noah Hutchings, which many of you may know was the president of Southwest Radio Church Ministries for many years. My dad worked for Southwest Radio Church Ministries for about 63 years. So you could say that I was born into the ministry and raised up in the ministry. I started working with my dad in ministry projects at a very young age. I started editing his scripts when I was in the 8th grade, and when I was in high school, I started working for the ministry part-time during summers. After college, I worked full-time for the ministry for many years. After I got married, I worked part-time in a long-distance capacity. And during the 1990s, while I lived in Israel in the Middle East, I worked as a radio broadcast journalist for Southwest Radio Church, reporting from the Middle East on various issues: religious, political, cultural, military issues in the Middle East, which would be of interest in, as far as Bible prophecy issues for the listeners of Southwest Radio Church. I also did some writing and broadcasting. As I returned from Israel, I went to school and got a web design degree and returned to Southwest Radio Ministries, working for my dad as the webmaster and web administration master for Southwest Radio Church Ministries. I also became involved in writing and broadcasting with my dad for those years that, the remainder of his years at Southwest Radio. Thanks a lot, David.
Thank you, Carol. The third member of our team is Doc Marquis. I've come to know Doc as a true friend and as one who listens to the voice of God.
Thank you, David. My name is Doc Marquis, and before I became a born-again Christian on April 15th, 1979, I was raised in a family of Illuminati witches. In other words, I was in the order of the Illuminati. At that point, I was a 7th generation practicing witch. However, ever since that day, back in 79, I have made it my number one goal to expose the secrets of the Illuminati, their plans for a new world order, the corruption going on in our government because of the Illuminati and other governments throughout the world. And ever since I became a born-again Christian, my life has been, shall we say, a little bit interesting because I've done more than 1,000 radio shows in this life, dozens of national and international television shows around the world. I just put the finishing touches on a whole new DVD series, and I'm working on a brand new one right now. Plus, I have written 4 books in the past, but I am planning on writing another one shortly in the future. But as I stated before, my number one goal is to keep you folks updated as to what's really going on in this life because of what the Illuminati have been up to. David, back to you.
So God has brought together both myself, Carol, and Doc for this amazing ministry that he has put together. So let me just talk a little bit about how Southwest Prophecy Ministry came about and how God led Carol, Doc, and myself to partner in this new enterprise. Well, in March of this year, in March 2015, Carol and myself were suddenly removed from the ministry at Southwest Radio Church through circumstances beyond our control. And after that occurred, I received a call from Doc Marquis, and he encouraged Carol and I to pray about starting our own ministry, a ministry which would restore the heritage that Noah Hutchings had built in his 64 years at Southwest Radio Church. Well, as Carol and I discussed and prayed and talked to Doc, over the ensuing months, it became clear to us that God was raising up a new ministry that would continue Brother Hutchings' dual emphasis on prophecy and liberty, of being a defender of the faith in these last days. So we sensed an urgency to man the ramparts as watchmen on the wall. So as I consider the providential hand of God in raising up this new ministry, I realize that God is making something new of something old. Between Doc, Carol, and myself, we bring about 120 years of experience in Christian media ministry. All of us have written books, done countless articles, and done innumerable radio broadcasts and interviews through the years. Now let me briefly talk about what the mission of this new ministry is going to be. We're going to be a little bit different than your average Christian ministry. There are ministries that have a focus on family, Bible teaching. Some have an exclusive focus on combating evil in our day, or talking about Bible prophecy. But we're going to be doing more than one thing. The mission of Southwest Prophecy Ministry is twofold and can be summarized in the words looking and occupying. Both of these are Bible words. We are a prophecy ministry, first of all. That's right that's our middle name, Southwest Prophecy Ministry. So we are a prophecy ministry, and much of what we will be writing about and broadcasting has to do with Bible prophecy. We are to be looking for the imminent return of Jesus Christ to rapture the church and deliver us from the wrath to come. We believe the Bible teaches a premillennial, pre-tribulational, and dispensational approach to future events. So we are looking for the anytime, any moment return of Jesus Christ. The second word in our mission statement is the word occupying. While we are looking for Christ's return, we are to be occupying until he comes. This involves, among other things, such as evangelism, church planting, and obedient Christian living. We are to be involved in being used of the Holy Spirit to be a restrainer of evil. So we're going to be talking about the events in our day, Satan's last day strategy to bring about a one-world government, and the corruption and the eugenics program that goes along with that. So we are concerned about prophecy, but we believe that prophecy also deals with tyranny and the struggle between tyranny and liberty, and that is an intense struggle in our day. So we're going to be looking, and we are going to be occupying. And I think that will make for a very interesting mix of programs on a daily basis. We're going to be having a focus on, of course, the Middle East. Carol will be manning the ship on that. And because of her rich background in Middle Eastern affairs, Doc will be dealing with conspiracy issues. I'll be teaching Bible prophecy and general Bible topics. And we will all be contributing to a focus on geopolitics, what is going on in the world today, and how that relates to Bible prophecy. So I think we're going to be producing very interesting programs, very interesting guests, authors, film producers that will assist us in keeping you informed and equipped as last day saints. Now, until we are back on the radio, and we trust that that will be very soon, our medium of communication is our website and our Facebook. And as I mentioned earlier, Carol is our Vice President of Social Media and is in charge of our website and Facebook. So I'm going to have Carol tell us about our website and Facebook page.
Thank you, David. First of all, I'd like to start with the website. I would like to, first of all, direct your attention to the front line section. This is a daily commentary in which we focus on issues of interest, such as abortion, Planned Parenthood, tyranny, liberty issues. So most of the time I write the daily commentaries, but David and Doc also contribute. We also present articles from other authors that we feel are excellent and that you need to read and be aware of and focused on, because they bring important information to us. The headline section is something that I've been doing for many years. I get up very early in the morning and I get on the internet and go all around the world to gather information, headlines that I feel are related to Bible prophecy and liberty and tyranny issues. And we have those on the website, and they'll be up about 8 o'clock generally in the morning. I think that this is a very important section of our website. It keeps people informed of what is going on in the world, what is going on in the United States, what is going on in Israel, what is going on in the Middle East, what are Russia and China doing. This is something that's of vital importance to Christians. First of all, we need to be informed of what's going on in the world so that not only we can pray about these issues, but that we can ask God what we need to do, what He wants us to focus on. Are these things that we can do anything about? If so, what does He want us to do? There's another section on our website. It's the bookstore. We have various books and DVDs on Bible prophecy, religious liberty issues, creationism versus evolution. I think that those, we try to pick out books and DVDs that we feel would be of great interest to anybody who is interested, especially in our country and in the world today. We also have a video section. We produce the verse video, and we have other videos of interest. Doc is doing videos on conspiracy issues called Conspiracy Corner. I think those are very interesting. David is focused on Bible prophecy. He's a number of videos up there on the website that you'll be interested in to keep what's going on in the latest and the fulfillment of end times Bible prophecy. I do videos on something that's called the Pork Report. These videos focus on how politicians in Washington, D.C. are spending our money. And I think we need to be aware of how the politicians in Washington, D.C., our elected officials, our elected representatives, are using our money. Are they using it wisely, or are they wasting our money? I also have my trusty sidekick, Rudy the Pig, who joins me every time. And together we try to find the issues, the information that you will need to keep our elected officials honest. And these are some of the things that we have on our website right now. I also take care of the Facebook page. I will be posting headlines for our Facebook page. I also usually post a devotion every day. I'll have a Liberty quote that I'll put on there. And from time to time, maybe a video that's related to political satire. So you never know what's going to be going on our Facebook page. We also use that to tease out ministry updates and announcements. So we encourage people to go to our Facebook page. I think that you'll find things of interest on there that you'll want to share with your friends and other people that you know.
Well, Carol, I think we also have an email newsletter, and perhaps some of our listeners would be interested in getting on that so that they can receive regular updates from our ministry. Can you tell our folks how they can sign up for our newsletter on our website?
Yes, there's a contact page on our website. It asks for your email address. We will not be sending you emails every day like some companies do. We don't pester you. But we do send out regular email updates. They're filled with ministry information. Doc will write an article or give an update. David will give an article or an update. We always direct you to the website, things of interest on there, things that are interest on our Facebook page, the information that you may have missed. So it's a way to keep up with the ministry and also different products that we offer from time to time. So you'll want to sign up for an email newsletter. It will keep you updated as to what's going on at Southwest Prophecy Ministries.
Thank you, Carol. Before the broadcast, you had mentioned to me that you have a favorite book in the Bible or the creationism section by a gentleman named Dr. Tom Sharp. Would you like to tell our listeners about this particular book?
I'll tell you a little bit about it. I think Rocks, Fossils, and Dinosaurs is an excellent resource for anyone who wants to know about how to combat evolutionary thought. We know that evolution is being taught in our schools. It's really an indoctrination method. And sometimes parents, and particularly Christians, don't know what to say when their kids come home and say, well, my professor told me this or my teacher told me that. Dr. Sharp does an excellent job of refuting the evolutionary myth that's being taught in our public schools. So I encourage you to go to our bookstore, look for that book, and look for other DVDs and books that we have in our bookstore.
Now, let me just also add that we know personally almost all of the authors of the books and films that we have in our bookstore. And so we can personally vouch for these individuals. They're men and women of integrity. These are quality products that are designed to equip you as an end-time saint. And as time goes on, of course, we're going to be adding new products to our bookstore. We will be featuring those as we go along. So visit our bookstore on a regular basis and avail yourself of the products that we have available there. Now let me just talk about the featured product that we are promoting today. As I mentioned, Doc Marquis, over the past many years, has produced a film series entitled Secrets of the Illuminati. The latest installment in his expose of Illuminati activities is a very interesting film that was just released. It's called Illuminati Gods at the Olympic Games. And this is actually 2 DVDs under one cover, about 3.5 hours worth of material. And Doc does an excellent job of exposing how in recent years the Olympic Games have taken on an occult flavor. This began particularly in the modern games in 1936 with the Berlin Olympics, of course, that were hosted by Adolf Hitler. And so he provides some still shots of the Olympic Games then, when particularly the opening ceremony began to reflect occult influence. And of course, we know that Adolf Hitler was very deeply involved in the occult. He was a member of the Thule Society and was Luciferian. And then as we move forward about 60 years, he picks up the narrative in 1996 with the Atlanta Olympic Games. Some very unusual things that happened there, in addition to the bombing that took place at the Atlanta Olympic Games. So Doc chronicles in a very painstaking and thorough way how the occultism that popped up in 1936 was carried forward and moved forward somewhat in the 1996 Atlanta Games, and then seemed to reach an apex in the year 2000 with the games in Australia. And Doc is just a very discerning person. He is able to see things that most of us do not see and do not recognize the occult significance of some of these events. So you will find his 2 DVDs to be extremely enlightening, and I think very timely also, in light of the fact that the 2016 Summer Olympics are just around the corner. Of course, you know we stagger the Olympics now. We have the Summer Olympics every 4 years, and then median between that, in 2018, we'll have the Winter Olympics. But the 2016 Summer Games are just around the corner, and I think this program will alert us and perhaps make us a bit more discerning observers as we see the 2016 Olympics unfold. So it's interesting to see how the Illuminati uses what is the premier sport event in our world to advance occult symbolism and change the thinking of listeners and viewers worldwide. Please visit our website today at www.swpm.us. Thanks for listening, and keep occupying till he comes.
Friends, you'll certainly want to get a copy of Doc Marquis' 2 DVD set titled Illuminati Gods at the Olympics. Through the years, the popular Olympic Games have been telling a tale of darkness and foreboding. It's a scintillating tale in which, through the Illuminati, the ancient gods are coming back. In the nearly 4-hour 2 DVD set, Former Illuminati member Doc Marquis takes you back to the very beginnings of the Olympic Games, bringing you to the time in which Adolf Hitler inculcated into the 1936 Games the Illuminati's brand of occultism. Doc then sweeps us forward 60 years to the 1996 Games and the Illuminati beginning their tale of the serpent god, and through a variety of occult practices and symbols proves that his return is imminent. It's a compelling, professionally produced video designed to forewarn you of the impending nefarious ramifications of that return. While we as Christians look for the imminent return of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the occult world similarly awaits its chief gods. Don't miss getting your copy of Illuminati Gods at the Olympics. An exciting and informative 2-DVD set is available as Southwest Prophecy Ministries' gift in appreciation of your contribution of $25. There are two ways to get it. Go to our website, www.swpm.us, or call 405-604-5975. Let me repeat that website for you, swpm.us, and the telephone number is 1-405-604-5975. Contact us right away for your copy. Remember, our goal is to equip you to deal with the dangers Christians face in these last days. Illuminati Gods at the Olympics is a tool we use to do just that. Thanks for listening today, and be sure to join us for the next Southwest Prophecy Ministries broadcast on this station. Until then, join us in occupying till he comes.